Internet, hello and welcome to our coverage of GRLCS Season 14 Gold Cap Finals. I'm Alex Agent 822, joined by Joshua Curiery. We're about to get into game number one between the Gold Cap finalists Gecko Slammer Armageddon and Glacial Omen. Yep.
Just to sort things out beforehand, are you the play-by-play caster?
Yeah, I'll play it.
Okay.
GSM on the blue side with Glacial Omen on the red side. We've already got our first round of bans locked in. Nocturne, Seraphine, and Tristana away by GSM and Glacial Omen with the Morgana, Lilia, and Viego bans. Three bans presumably thrown at the jungler of GSM, maybe? Could be elsewhere also, to be fair.
And looks like the first two picks we're going to see, Jinx going to be coming out for Gecko Slammer Armageddon, and also Varus for Glacial Omen. Interesting picks as the AD carries come out.
Yeah, both of them locking in their marksman bottom lane early on. I like the Jinx pick a lot. I think it's quite good. The Varus, I hemped on it. Oh, okay. I went off on it a little bit a while back, but I don't particularly think Varus is that good. The big thing that he offers for team comps is the ultimate. Most of his damage you can cover with any other marksman. So I don't know. Picking it this early is kind of questionable in my opinion, but it might work out. Zach is going to be locked in. That's a pretty comfortable pick for GSM Gold in response to Glacial Omen picking up that Galio.
Yeah, Galio is also a really strong champion to pick up. I mean, he just offers so much CC and peel for their team, and specifically with the Varus too, just adding on to them, adding on to that CC. It'll be interesting to see how they want to take these team fights.
Yeah, I like seeing the Diana picked up for GSM as well. That champion is I think has been quite good for a while. Although picking it into the Galio, it's a pretty rough matchup for the Diana in the mid lane. But the champion does scale quite well as far as assassins go. So I think it'll be okay if you can just weather the storm that is the laning phase. Volibear going to be locked in for Glacial Omen.
Yeah, the big bear comes out. I don't think I've seen Diana come out for GSM quite a few times, and yeah, they've been utilizing Diana very well in team fights, being able to just one shot the back line, also just chain CC because of Diana's little sucky in thingy. Forgot what that ability is called, but yeah, it's nice to see that come out for Gecko Slammer Armageddon again.
Yeah, I like they're throwing in some pretty quick bans here. Orianna is going to be the ban by GSM. I suppose that it's a possibility that this Galio is support Galio for Glacial Omen. So go ahead and ban away the Orianna, another mid laner. Mordekaiser going to be the ban for Glacial Omen, as well as the Set. So two bans thrown at GSM's top laner, presumably. I don't think Set support is all that great. And GSM, their last ban away in this final rotation, probably going to be... I think that they're convinced that the Galio is bought as support, so it's going to be another ban towards a solo lane, presumably the mid Irelia, seeing the Volibear come out. Although, again, fairly flexible. Volibear did get buffed in the jungle, so he's actually fairly good in that position. Cho'Gath going to be locked in for Glacial Omen, and that all but convinces me that Volibear is going to be the jungle pick with that Cho'Gath in the top lane.
Could also be Cho'Gath in the mid lane, but I don't think we've seen that in a few seasons now. But yeah, Cho'Gath is another nice pick. So far, Glacial Omen have been trying to pick up, I guess, tankier characters. Maybe they just wanted the ladies team fights to see if Varus can just rack up his damage with his stacks.
Yeah, Urgot is going to be locked in for GSM's top laner, so they've got a very nice, beefy front line. Zac and Urgot are both fairly tanky, and will do a lot in allowing Jinx to front to back very nicely, and Thresh is going to be locked in. No surprises there. you have a lot of power for your Jinx to just auto attack the enemy forever. And so Glacial Omen, they gotta lock in a mid laner or a support here, depending on where that Galio is going to be going. And GSM's team comp looks quite formidable, in my opinion. I really like having these double tanks with the Jinx with a peel-oriented support. Galio is going to be going into the mid lane with that Lulu locked in for Glacial Omen. So both of these teams looking to try and empower their AD carries to just melt through these front lines. I'm really interested to see how this goes. I think that obviously with with a true enchanter support like Lulu, Varus does have a little bit of an advantage, but it's Jinx, you know? Jinx is going to be putting out damage like crazy as soon as the first reset comes in. And with these very kind of slow, lumbering juggernaut type champions like Volibear, like Cho'Gath, I think the Thresh is going to be very effective at keeping them off of this Jinx with just drop Flame, drop Box, Lantern the Jinx for a little bit more extra distance. I really like the team comp that GSM has put together.
The only thing that I'm a little bit worried about for GSM is their Diana, because if the Diana can't get into the backline, it's going to be pretty hard considering Lulu has her ultimate, has a little transform, a polymorph, and also there's three big beefy boys right in front of her that she has to get through. So
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how Diana will try to take this.
I completely agree. I think that Diana is definitely the odd man out in GSM's team comp. You've got Zach Urgot, who can frontline really well for Jinx, and Thresh, who's a really good peel support. And then Diana. Diana's wants to go into the backline. That's like completely against the game plan that the rest of GSM have. Although I suppose if Zach has the opportunity to dive into the backline as well, make some chaos and give Diana some room to go for it. So it's not like wholly inconsistent, but I think that Seymour might have done better, or Seymour might have had a better time with this particular team comp on something that like a utility mid laner or a front to back mid laner, which we know he can play. Seymour has a history of playing champions like Vigar, like Malzahar, like Xerath. All of these champions, I think, would have been absolutely outstanding in this team comp, and all of which were open for them. So we'll see how Seymour performs on this Diana. I definitely think that he has the capability of doing it. Is just what I would have preferred to see if I were playing this team comp, you know?
But from the previous games, I believe we've seen Seymour pull out the Diana, and he has been able to. I believe in the semifinals, he brought the game back by just by one single team fight, where he just pretty much won by just jumping in and obliterating everybody's HP bars. So hopefully Seymour can also produce those same results in this game. But yeah. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Seymour. Seymour. Okay, yeah, that's how you pronounce his name. Oopsies. I'm sorry, Seymour. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this game plays out.
Yeah, I really think I think that I think that he does well in the Diana. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's bad at the champion by any means. But look at what he's playing into though. Cho'Gath is gonna have the silence. Galio is gonna have the very quick, easy to apply taunt. You have Whimsy. You've got Wild Growth to knock him up as soon as he goes in. You've got the Chain of Corruption. That's a lot of CC to deal. A lot of nearly on demand CC for an assassin type champion like Diana to be dealing with. So I think that Diana is mainly going to be just trying to disrupt the backline a little bit and allow Naked Beekeeper on this Jinx to really carry team fights is what I would expect to happen. As far as GSM's ideal team fight goes. Glacial Omen, on the other hand, they have a lot more traditional front to back team comp as well. With Lulu Varus, you kind of have the same idea where you have these big beefy champions like Volibear, Cho'Gath, and then Galio, instead of being like a backline mage like the ones I mentioned for Seymour before, he's kind of also serving the dual purpose of peel / frontline champion. You can use his ultimate to just like drop it on the Varus. It'll stop anybody who's diving onto your AD carry. or he can just like play zone, make space for the Varus to auto attack normally, and so I think both of these teams kind of want to be operating front to back, and it's just a matter of which AD carry finds the better spacing and finds the better opportunity to weave in those auto attacks from safety and whittle down the front lines faster.
Yeah. It'll also be interesting to see how Volibear is gonna work, because I think it's really up to him if he wants to jump into these team fights and just kind of act like the main engage, or maybe because Volibear and Galio combo, that sounds like a pretty disgusting duo in team fights. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see like the full 5-on-5 team fights, because they should be pretty interesting. And if both of these AD carries kind of play appropriately, they should be kind of more dragged out team fights, as opposed to like one team gets womboed and it's over like that. We saw that a couple times yesterday in the semifinals, where team fights were a lot more explosive and more very quickly finished. Like, oh shoot, this team got hit by all the CC, they're done, it's over, just like the fight's done. I GSM coming, I think both of these teams actually coming in from the same conference in gold capped. Both of them winning out in the semifinals. So these teams will have met each other twice before now. And with GSM with a 10-0 record, actually these two teams are the top the Yordle Conference of GRLCS Gold this season. Glacial Omen's only losses are to GSM with an undefeated record in the regular season. So this is kind of a big deal for Gold Capped in the Yordle Conference. A point of pride for both of these teams.
See if Glacial Omen can turn the tides and win the game, take the stub for themselves.
All right, with the spectate delay finishing up here. I think a lot of this is going to have to do with Hidden Torture's ability to kind of outpath Panther. I think I talked about it before, because we saw Zach earlier yesterday. I think Zach is a champion that's amazingly good in the late game, but the champ, compared to a lot of the meta junglers, he just doesn't clear quite as fast. He doesn't have basically any ability to duel a lot of the junglers that come out in normal play. So it can be very difficult in the earliest stages of the game for the Zac to really find the opportunity to farm up and get some levels so that he can actually do anything. You have to get levels in that elastic slingshot, or else the range on it is just horrendously low, and you don't have any opportunity to participate in fights. So a lot of it will have to do with Panther's ability to avoid confrontation with Hidden Torture, and Hidden Torture's ability to deny farm and EXP from Panther on the Zac. But we are into the game. On the blue side, it is GSM, #1 seed from the Yordle Conference of Gold Capped, with Levi's in the top lane on Urgot, Panther in the jungle on Zac, Seymour in the mid lane on Diana, and in the bottom lane it's Naked Beekeeper and Silver Spade on Jinx and Thresh.
And for Glacial Omen, who is on the red side, we got Coffee Coop playing Cho'Gath in the top lane, Hidden Torture in the jungle on Volibear, Ishan on mid lane with Galio, ADC Gap 2 Big, Varus AD carry, and as the support, we got Hema1106 on Lulu.
Silver Spade opting for the more traditional Thresh keystone with the Aftershock, rather than the Guardian that has been kind of a trend. Although with the nerfs to maxing out the Thresh Lantern, I think that we will see more Threshes move back towards the Aftershock and maxing Hook rather than maxing Lantern first. Move away from little baby Enchanter Thresh and more towards, good playmaking Peel and pick support Thresh. I like that. I like that playstyle a lot more, and I think it's a lot more interesting and skill expressive.
Yeah, especially in this battle lane where the impact's pretty much going to, where the name of the game is going to be at. Seymour has, I mean, Silver Spade has to kind of guess make these plays and make sure that he can win lane. And I'm pretty sure if bot lane wins lane, this is going to be a pretty good indicator of how the game will go.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think that these marksmen are going to be the ones to carry a team fight. Silver Spade actually took hook at level 1, which is a little bit unusual. Even if you land a hook at level 1, oftentimes there's not anything you can do because you don't have Flay to follow up, and Flay is a lot of your damage because of the passive that increases your auto attack damage. And again, at level 1, there's not a whole lot of follow-up. It's only really if you're anticipating invading or a potential invade from the enemy. So maybe that was the case.
Maybe that was the case. If Zach came down there and he had his little slingshot up, I think the hook would have been a little bit easier to follow up on. But yeah.
Ishan is going to be use that taunt and got the aftershock proc in order to trade some damage back onto Seymour. Actually opted for Doran shield start on this Galio. Here we go. They're gonna Whimsy up Naked Beekeeper. Silver Spade blaze backwards. The piercing arrow gonna come out, do a little bit more damage onto Silver Spade as the Justice Punch comes out. There's a taunt. Volibear's coming in, looking for it. He flashes, and the Seymour flashes in response.
And...
Oh my bad.
Oh, no, you're fine, you're fine. Keep going, keep going. You're safe?
Alright, so, yeah, with the Doran shield start on the Galio, I think it's gonna be difficult because you see he's losing out on a lot of mana sustain.
And now we have Volibear coming in for another gank. Got him slowing the Naked Beekeeper. Silver Spade has pulled out the Lantern. Might be a little bit early. Yeah, Silver Spade is forced to flash to dodge the taunt from hidden to dodge the stun from Hidden Torture, and that will be a flash down for the support and a flash down for the AD carry on Glacial Omen.
Yeah, I think it's super important that he flashed that the thunder coming down from the Volibear E. Not only does that slow you, it's like a ton of damage. It's so much damage actually that the Sky Splitter does. Meanwhile, a fight breaking out in the top lane is not going to mean too much, I don't think. Panther snuck his way down into the bottom lane, but here comes Volibear with a face check right into him.
Flash from Gahim as the flame comes out onto the Lulu support. Now Hidden Treasure is by himself. His AD carry is slowly trying to make his way up, but I guess this will be another stalemate fight.
Yeah, that was super aggressive from Gadim to flash, exhaust, and then, you know, Lulu doesn't have any hard CC, so you're really only just trying to flash and slow them so that you can get your jungler in there. But you know that your jungler doesn't have flash, so even had the Zac not been there, I think that was probably not going to amount to too much.
Maybe Gahim had an idea where she could just try to flash exhaust polymorph so that Volibear can come in time, but unfortunately the Zac was there to help counteract the gank.
Yeah, and it will result in, because of how low ADC gap and Gahim got off of a really nice elastic slingshot from Panther, it does mean Infernal Drake early on goes over to the side of GSM. And that's really surprising, honestly, because like we said, the Zac is going to be significantly worse than the Volibear in the early stages of the game, but just a lot of bot prio acquired off of those early trades for Naked Beekeeper and Silver Spade. This will mean that Hidden Torture is further and further ahead in terms of EXP, because while you're taking Dragon, yes, you're getting a benefit for your team, but you're not farming for your... not getting any EXP, you're not getting any gold on that Zac. It's... he's going to be really relying on his team in order to win out a lot of these team fights. Seeing an EXP start to open up for Hidden Torture over Panther right now.
Yeah, 34 CS opposed to the 40 CS that Hidden Torture currently has.
Alright, now Panther is taking his first recall now. Hidden Torture actually going to go ahead and invade onto the enemy Grom.
We gotta fight topside. Coffee Coop gets flashed on by GSM Levi's, who drops his ultimate, and here we go, dragging him back into the chains, and that's going to be first blood going towards GSM Levi's in the top lane. Very nice 1v1.
I like that play a lot from Levi's, where he flash Ard, So, and kind of canceled the animation of it with his flash as well. So you do get the slow, you do get that tether put on you, and he's able to get that last auto off to knock him down below the threshold in order to pull him back in. So a really nice just solo kill for Levi's there in that top lane.
Now we're gonna see the Bramble Vest. Oh,
Wow.
you see Sean flashing straight to Seymour, and that's gonna be a kill for Hidden Torture. Very nice duo play from Hidden Torture and Ishan to just dive in. But we do have Panther coming in to try and clean up Ishan. Unfortunately, he's going to be extremely low on health, as that is just so much damage going up from Hidden Torture, and he's going to be forced to flash back under tower just to stay alive.
Yeah, Panther, like we were talking about, the EXP discrepancy means a lot there. Panther is only level 5, so he had no ultimate. Meanwhile, whoa.
Upside, I guess Coffee Coop is trying to turn the tides, and yum. That's another kill. That's a kill for Coffee Coop as he chomps onto GS and Levi's and gets himself a kill.
Yeah, whichever of those top laners has their ultimate, that they have a lot of power to just execute their opponent. And Levi's didn't have his ultimate there, so Coffee Coop just slowly keeps him slowed, keeps autoing onto him, and then is able to chomp down on him for a solo kill back onto him. I really think that was really well played by Ishan and Hidden Torture. The flash taunt from Ishan means that there was no opportunity for Seymour to try and get out of that one. He throws down the ultimate as a desperation, trying to get a return kill, but not enough damage coming out, and Hidden Torture is able to help Ishan pick up that kill. And then, like we said, Panther, behind on EXP, can't really get anything back because there's no Let's Bounce available for him.
And now, I believe...
Oh, Chain of Corruption has been invested here.
Yeah, here we go. Naked Beekeeper, he is going to get out of there safely, I guess. Because Glacial Omen hit level 6, I believe they went in on that, but unfortunately they were not able to follow up with enough damage to take out Naked Beekeeper.
Yeah, ADC Gab goes for the Chain of Corruption play, trying to pick off Naked Beekeeper. The Summoner Heal comes out, and I don't know if at this point the Piercing Arrow would have killed. It would have had 3 Blight stacks stacked up because the Chain of Corruption automatically applies the maximum stacks when it lands. But, you know, maybe it would have killed, but regardless, it just completely misses. A really nice hook from Silver Spade to avoid any follow-up damage coming out from the Varus.
Yeah, very nicely played from both sides right there. Good plays from the Thresh to Peel. And now it looks like we're gonna... Oh, Ishan and Hidden Torture will be trying to take this Scuttle Crab. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of big, as Hidden Torture does have that 8 CS. Now it's a 12 CS lead. So Hidden Torture is slowly snowballing and taking the lead over the enemy jungler.
Yeah, about 3 camps ahead. That crab is pretty important because you do have the dragon spawning in about 15 seconds. It's not like a big point of contention, but you'd rather have it than the enemy team have it, and you don't want to give GSM the opportunity to go to force on Mountain Soul, or not Mountain Soul, but Dragon Soul. Rift Herald's going to be dropped here by Panther. He had taken that earlier on in the game. Silver Spade pushing forward, moving some space in, and actually, because of that, they are forced to cede position on this dragon. It's going to be an uncontested one over to the side of GSM once again.
Yeah, very nice play from Zach. Oh, now here we go. Nice hook from Silver Spade, right, and plays ADC Gap right into the Chain Chompers. Now we have Zach coming in here. Hidden Torture is here to counter gank. Nice flash from Beekeeper, gets him away from Hidden Torture's jump, but Hidden Torture is big, and he's going deep all the way, flashing onto Naked Beekeeper to secure the first kill of this fight. Silver Spade is going to go very, very low. He has the flash in order to just stay alive. Lantern comes out, but Gahim is going to try to do his best to stay on the Lantern so that the Zac cannot go back, but unfortunately the Zac will be able to take the Lantern and he'll be getting to safety.
That was so good from Gahim. Naked Beekeeper, so a really good start to that fight. Meanwhile, solo kill on the top lane. A really good start to that fight where Naked Beekeeper cuts off ADC Gap too big. The Chain of Corruption comes out to try and get himself out of there, and then the hook into the flay on the Flame Chompers from Silver Spade was really nice. Naked Beekeeper not able to finish the kill because Gahim used everything, including the exhaust immediately after the flash. Naked Beekeeper doesn't have the damage to finish him off, and so he just flashed forward and gets like eaten by the Volibear. So just a really good team fight from Glacial Omen in that little bit there.
And yeah, because of the dragon, and now oh wait, actually it was Glacial Omen who got the better into that. So now I believe, yeah, Glacial Omen still has a gold lead, even though GSM has 2 dragons on their side. So there's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be
Dragon's not really worth any gold, just like in and of itself. Obviously, the stats that it gives is worth some gold, but it's not going to be reflected in any gold leads, and it's definitely not going to be reflected in any items, directly speaking.
nope,
Ooh, Chain of Corruption
miss.
goes wide, but a teleport coming in.
Yeah, you guys, we're gonna see Silver Spade Polymorph teleport comes in, and Sean is now here to back him up. We got Zach coming in with the fling. Oh, huge pull coming out from Seymour, as now Ishan does come from the sky. Seymour is going to go down as Panther's going to get really low too. Ishan is very low on HP. Naked Beekeeper is going to be able to clean up Ishan. Now got him shields. ADC gap too big with a huge nice shield, and now oh my gosh, we got the top laners coming down here too. Coffee Coop just takes one bite out of Zach and sends him right back to the fountain, and that's going to be a double kill for him going out of this fight.
Yeah, so what happened there? Seymour got a really good ultimate, like you were talking about, pulled in 2 people and landed the damage onto them. But Ishan's ultimate was arguably better. The hero's entrance was a great peel tool for ADC gap too big, and though he does end up going down in the end, I think Naked Beekeeper kind of baited himself into going forward there. He got the first kill. He got excited, both literally and in the game. But no, even if you're a Jinx, you know, it's still a 2v1 situation. The Lulu's gonna have a ton of shielding, a lot of power to delay your damage. The Varus's damage is quite good at this point in the game as well. So he ends up just dying 2v1 as the Zac is trying to respawn.
And now we have a game coming in from Panther again, straight onto Ishan. Seymour going in, but unfortunately the follow-up damage will not be able to come through. Only chunking Ishan's health for about 25%.
Yeah, so I'd say just a little bit over eagerness coming out from a Naked Beekeeper there is what kind of lost them that fight. And then another, again, second teleport surprise comes out from the other soul laner of Glacial Omen, Coffee Coop, being able to teleport down there. We saw for that dragon fight what happened is Levi's walked down there, got the first move, and then teleported back to the top lane. So yes, they were able to secure the dragon due to that.
Oh, Chain of Corruption comes out, but it's going to be the hook that's going to counteract ADC gap too big, and AK Beekeeper is going to shut down. Almost actually going down into the Varus, but yeah, that's a very nice play from Silver Spade and Naked Beekeeper to get themselves a kill.
I'm not gonna lie, I think that was just a big misplay from ADC gap too big. Yeah, you landed the Chain of Corruption really good, and you do have the capacity to kill him. Hold on.
Oh yeah, we got Hidden Torture just jumping straight onto Silver Spade, who is unfortunately not going to be able to do much as he just gets deleted by Hidden Torture.
Yeah, but yeah, I think ADC gap too big. You landed the Chain of Corruption. He's not going anywhere for quite a while. Just be a little bit patient, take your time, and dodge the hook. You don't have to like go in like right then. Just wait for the hook to come out because you know it's gonna come because he has to do it in order to disengage and save his AD carry. Just wait for it, dodge it, then you can kill him. And he ends up going down. They do get Silver Spade as a consolation prize with that with the Stormbringer coming down, disabling the tower, and they're gonna get a Cloud Dragon for their troubles.
Oh, Panther going in a little bit too early will not be able to take that smite, but Silver Spade is there with the lantern to get him out of that sticky situation.
Yeah, a nice lantern. A nice attempt by Panther, but again, look at the level discrepancy. Level 10 to level 8. If you're smiting correctly, then there's no way that Panther ever gets that steal. So this is just the discrepancy in these jungle champions. I think Zac was always going to be behind in the jungle, and here we go. He's going to try and re-engage.
Yeah, Chop gets stunned down, pulled in, but Zac's going to be on the tower, and he's going to be slain immediately. Coffee Chop just going right onto the Thresh, getting himself a nice double kill without losing any HP.
Yeah, Panther goes in. Nice hook from Silver Spade, but it's onto the tank. And at this point, the Jinx is bot lane. The Jinx is the only one who can get through any tanks that are available for the side of Glacial Omen, so I don't know why you're going for that fight at all.
Oh
Wow.
my god, that's a ton of damage coming out from ADC gap too big. Jesus Christ, Levi's HP bar just went from 100 to 0 in about like 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's the Kraken Slayer and the Piercing Arrow just proccing onto 3 Blight stacks. A lot of percent max health damage available, and Levi's does have some HP built up for that Titanic Hydra, but not a lot of resistances, so those percent health damages are going to be doing quite a bit.
And Panther once again going in, going big, and Gahim is going to be stuck by himself, drops the ultimate, but Hidden Torture is there to back him up. Seymour will secure that kill onto Gahim as Panther, oh my god, so low in HP, unfortunately Hidden Torture will not be able to clean that kill up, but we do have a shot coming in from the skies, and now GSM Levi's will be the second one to fall on his team.
Dude, ADC Gap got so many autos off in that fight. He's playing these so well. He was able to, after he gets yoinked back in, again, a really good hook by Silver Spade onto the Lulu to pick up that kill. But the Wild Growth keeps him alive for long enough, and ADC Gap Too Big is doing so much damage. Okay, Chain of Corruption, I'll eat my words there. But, I don't know why GSM is fighting. Their Jinx is bot lane. Their Jinx is their only damage dealer. Diana's not gonna be able to do anything in these team fights, so, like, whoa. Just don't fight. Just wait for your Jinx to come and join. Uh-oh.
And here we go. Panther going in once again. He wants these fights. Gets taunted for a second here as he gets pulled back by the Lantern Coffee. Coop is going right back into there. The Chain Chompers will root him for just a quick second as he gets hooked again. But I don't know if GSM wants to go back into this fight. And it looks like they will decide to disengage.
Yeah, both of these AD carriers are have the capacity to put out a lot of damage, but ADC Gap Too Big is kind of getting spoon-fed it. Panther keeps on jumping in, and so ADC Gap Too Big, if he doesn't get annihilated by the Elastic Slingshot combo, with any follow-up, obviously, he's getting a lot of chances to auto-attack, whereas Naked Beekeeper, he has to spend time walking up and catching up to the fight, whereas Varus is just autoing onto the Zac who's coming directly to him.
Yeah, Panther's been doing some some questionable things as sometimes he's just fleeing ends straight into like 3 players without any vision, and that's been pretty detrimental as most of the times he does go down in these fights, and maybe sometimes his team decides to follow up and just so Panther should probably play a little bit more passive or at least get some vision beforehand.
Yeah, and I mean not just vision. I think that you need to understand what your team comp is meant to do. You're meant to let the Jinx do her thing, and let the Thresh land hooks. If you kind of play frontline, you allow your Thresh to play as a kind of almost like a not an enchanter, but a ability haste type champion. He can land hooks over and over again because he's not the one who's getting focused. So a lot of CC can go over the course of the fight, and Silver Spade has been very good with hooks this game. I think he is having a good day. Like, not that he's been very good at this champion, but he is having a very good day today. So just let him do that. Let him and Naked Beekeeper carry team fights. You just need to make sure that the tanks don't annihilate your Jinx, and you need to not get killed by the Varus before your Jinx can get excited.
Here we go. Panther's going to get rooted down as he tries to face check this Bush Polymorph now. Very low on HP as the heal comes out for Naked Beekeeper, just to ensure that Panther does not go down preemptively.
Yeah, they do want the Zac to be alive for this next Cloud Dragon that is on the table right now, but it's already been started up by Glacial Omen.
Now here we go.
And they're going to again go for a potential steal.
And here he goes in. We're going to see Hidden Torture go straight back onto, oh my gosh, I guess Jason Levi's is going to be taking a 1v5 fight as he teleports into the backline. Unfortunately, he will not be able to do much. Panther does get out of there alive, though, as GSM Levi's did distract him for a good amount of time. So that is only going to be 1 player down for GSM as they come out of this dragon fight.
Yeah, you know for sure that Glacial Omen has position on the dragon. You're never gonna get in there, so if he was gonna go for that steal, he should have gone for it, and they should have just like left. you know, because he's gonna die 100%. You're never gonna win that team fight. They're honestly lucky that it only ended up being a 1-for-0. Baron is started up. Coffee Coop does not have the feast available, but there is no smite, but there is the potential for these steals. Good landing there.
Oh, Seymour going in, and he's going to get a kill on ADC gap too big. That's going to be the main damage carry for Glacial Omen right now as he drops his Onyx. Unfortunately, he'll be going down right next very soon. Panther is going to do his best to try to get back into this fight as he flashes in once again, and now we have Copy Coop. We're going to just obliterate Zach's HP bar almost instantly, and we see GSM Levi's trying to chase down. Oh my god, nice flash from Silver Spade right under the tower and gets himself a kill.
Yeah, a really good team fight at the end of the day for GSM, and that's the power of that Diana that you were talking about. He lands the Q and he thinks about it for a second, but at the end of the day, he does choose to flash in ult, pull in a bunch of members, and that Diana ultimate, it does more damage the more people you pull in. So, just basically annihilates ADC gap too big. I think that honestly got him messed up a little bit there because he exhausted after the Diana damage came down. So had he exhausted right away, he probably could have saved Varus and probably would have won them in the team fight, honestly. But it ends up going the way of GSM. Naked Beekeeper crucially got a few kills and assists in that fight, so we'll see if Naked Beekeeper is able to start doing a little bit more damage in these team fights, which is what you need if you're GSM.
And now we are slowly transitioning into the mid game as both teams do have two dragons on their sides, except Glacial Omen is going to have the one with a lot more gold lead to say. They do have bounties on them, so if GSM takes these bounties away, they could snowball back and try to take the game back into their own hands.
Yeah, 2 dragons apiece. The Cloud Drakes I think are actually quite good. I just think that Cloud Soul itself is not all that powerful, but Hidden Torture might be in a really bad spot here, actually.
Yeah, Hook comes through unable to... It doesn't land though, so Hidden Torture should be fine for now. There are 5 players of GSM in the mid lane though.
Ishan is walking his way up the river, getting ready to Hero's entrance, but it looks like GSM are backing away, not willing to continue sieging onto this mid lane. They are down 3 towers and about 6,500 gold or so.
Mm-hmm. So they'll need to try to do their best to just come back into this game by maybe trying to, not necessarily initiating fights, but trying to maybe take some objectives, trying to get some more picks, because there's still a good amount of bounties on the players coming from the side of Glacial Omen.
I really quite like what Naked Beekeeper is doing here. He started building towards Runons, but then he realized, hey, I need to build Last Whisper and build it into Lord Dominique's Regards, because look at the tank line you're dealing with on the side of Glacial Omen. Lord Dominique's is not even just like the most efficient item, basically necessary if he wants to have any chance of killing the front line. So I think it's quite good. He's going to build towards the Runons. Oh, man. ADC gap, you got to land those. He's missed the last 2 or 3 or so, and he's had some good ones land, but when you every time you miss those, it's an opportunity lost.
Mm-hmm. And if the Thresh hit him with that hook, that could have been very, very unfortunate, as almost all of GSM was there to back him up. But oh my god, that Cho'Gath's looking pretty big though, pretty thick.
Yeah, he actually does opt to finish off the Runons before building in towards the Lord Dominique's Regards. I think that's kind of fine. You're gonna get a lot of value off of it because like you've got these lumbering juggernauts running at you, so you're gonna have a lot of opportunity to get those extra procs off with the Runons onto multiple frontliners and apply Kraken Slayer multiple times. I honestly almost wish that ADC Gap had gone for the Runons as well, rather. Oh, good hook.
Yeah, very good hook. Garo's going to come into this from the skies, and now Hidden Torture is going straight into the backline onto Naked Beekeeper as they're trying to peel for him. Now we got Seymour going straight into the fight, and Volibear is going to get shut down as he gets dragged into the chains of Levi's. And Sean going once again back into here. Silver Spade getting caught out as he cannot do much, trying to run away, and that is going to be a free dragon, pretty much a free dragon, going towards the side of Glacial Omen now.
Yeah, again, Coffee Coop doing work there. He just walked in, zoned out the Jinx. that was very well played by the Cho'Gath, because he is currently the tankiest member on the team, and if he's so far away from his team, but he's able to tank Naked Beekeeper for long enough. He actually didn't even die. It was Hidden Torture that ends up dying, but with Coffee Coop there, just standing there, making sure the Jinx couldn't attack priority targets, it allows ADC gap too big, with the help of the peel from Ishan and Gatim, to focus down the tank line of GSM's side. And he's just doing so much more damage to their tank line, because their tank line is not nearly as well equipped to deal with an AD carry just hitting on them over and over again. Baron has been started up by GSM. It's already down to half HP, but Coffee Coop does have Flash, he does have Feast as well, and that will always do more damage than Smite. If he knows what time he needs to go in, he's gonna get in there, he steals it!
And yeah, he steals it, and now the fight is not looking good for GSM, as Panther is going to be the first person to go down. Coffee Cube is going to try his best to just go back into this fight, and he gets hooked down. GSM Levites is the second one to fall, same mode by himself. Once again, Ishan just going straight back in, and that's going to be a kill for ADC Gap as the arrow hits and snipes him, and sending him back to the fountain. Now Naked Beekeeper and Silver Spade are the last two remaining players for GSM.
Dude, Naked Beekeeper autoed Coffee Coop for like 10 whole seconds, and Coffee Coop is just totally fine. It's crazy. I don't even know. I think that the Lord Dominique's regards is probably like, you know, I'm gonna retract my previous statement. I definitely think he should have gone for Lord Dominique's regards rather than finishing off this Runon's Hurricane, because now the game's just gonna be over.
Oh, but huge damage coming up from Naked Beekeeper. Unfortunately, he will not be able to clean up a kill, as Zach now hopping right back into the fight. He's going to be probably more almost instantly, as Ishan is just straight up hitting the Nexus. Coffee Coop going very, very low from that Jinx cannon shot. And now Ishan is going to probably fall down, as yeah, that's going to be another kill for Jinx. Got him in ADC Gap. Do secure the kill on GSM Levi's as Panther hops right back in to get a trope kill for Gahim. And now that is 3 players down for Glacial Omen.
Yeah, GSM are able to hold at their Nexus. A very split decision coming out from Glacial Omen, where ADC got too big. He landed the Chain Corruption on the Jinx, and they weren't able to finish him off before he was able to flash out and get back to his fountain, regen a bunch of HP, and then they were split on whether they wanted to focus down towers or leave. And so what ends up happening is Naked Beekeeper, with that Get Excited, is able to kind of clean them up with the help of Panther, just keeping on throwing in those elastic slingshots. There is going to be another dragon in about 2 minutes, so it'll be 2 minutes before Soul is available for Glacial Omen, but they're looking at an open Nexus right now.
And they do still have Baron buff, so if they decide to push it down mid lane, they might be able to secure the game.
Alright, they do still have Baron on ADC Gap as well as Coffee Coop. I think it's going to expire fairly soon, though. Almost like right now. So they won't have that Baron empowered minion wave for them, but oh gosh. I don't know. Lord Dominique's regards has been finished off for both of these AD carries, so expect them to be killing the tanks much faster than they already have been. In the case of ADC Gap too big, on the side of Naked Beekeeper, maybe he'll eventually kill Coffee Coop now.
Yeah, eventually. Coffee Coop is just so thick and just has so much armor. He has a ton of armor and a ton of health from just feasting on so many champions and also minions.
Yeah, and not to mention, he pops that stone plate, gets a gigantic shield. It's actually so crazy how long Coffee Coop can just tank Naked Beekeeper.
Yeah, he's just honestly like a huge sandbag. Like, he can just take the beatings, and the damage coming out from the Jinx will not be able to amount to pretty much anything.
Alright, looks like they're trying to get a push onto this bottom lane. Elastic Slingshot is being channeled, does have quite the range.
Unfortunately, that's not going to connect just yet, but the minions will go down, so it'll be actually, no, Hidden Torture is just going to walk under the turret and take the turret shot to get themselves another tower.
Yeah, if this is only game 1, so I won't speak too soon, but if Glacial Omen are able to win here, that will be both Diamond and Gold capped, the team that's undefeated in the regular season falling in the finals. So, you know, don't want to jinx it either way, but that's a real possibility that we have two very big upsets as the case may be. This is Cloud Soul. If Glacial Omen want to go ahead and start it, they do have teleport available for Coffee Coop, but he's teleporting now.
Teleported to this bot side as his team is giving him time to group up together. Now Dragon will get started out here. I don't. Oh, GSM. Only Zach is here to maybe try to contest this, and he hops over into the bear pit. Yeah, and by himself, he will fall as now. Now Now Glacial Omen has Cloud Soul, and Jungler is down for GSM.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Cloud Soul. Yeah, it sucks that they get it, but it's not worth. It really is just not worth your life as your team's main tank. And also, the chances of him stealing it. What are the odds? Like, you're dealing with Beast.
And now here we go. Another team fight starts. We got Seymour trying to go into his backline. Yeah, GSM Levi's tries to do his best to maybe chunk ADC Gap's health just a bit so that his team can help clean up. And we got Snake and Beekeeper doing a good amount of damage as Seymour goes back into this fight. Ashawn is now very low. That's a double kill for this Jinx. And, doing work onto Coffee Coop now as Coffee Coop tries to flash away to stay alive. That's going to be and Zach flashing in smite right onto Gecko, so he's going to be slow for just a second. Seymour also flashing in. Unfortunately, he'll not be able to follow up on his Q, and that is going to be another tower actually destroyed for the blue side.
Yeah, that was a really fragmented team fight. I think that Glacial Omen kind of forgot what their team was supposed to do as well, because they let ADC Gap too big get flanked by Seymour and Levi's. He ends up going down, and then Naked Beekeeper has a lot of freedom to just auto onto the tanks who have already used a lot of their cooldowns. With that Lord Dominic's Regards finished off, Coffee Coop can't stay nearly as long up against him, and now the inhibs have respawned and they're on the Baron.
Here we go. It's going to be quite a bit of time before the enemy jungler and Coffee Coop comes, so they might be able to secure this Baron for free. And it looks like that will be the case.
By GSM, no problem. Now they just got to use their Baron empowered recalls and get back to their base, but they're gonna not try and let them. Hidden Torture on the way in.
Oh, gets hooked, and here we go. He's going to be jumping in, waiting for his team to follow up. Humans now here. Coffee Coop going straight in on Panther. Panther's going to take that lantern and be safe and sound as they walk back into the base. That was a very close and sticky situation for GSM.
Yeah, that was a really close call. The Chain of Corruption did land that time, but fortunately for them, it was onto the Mercury's treads and presumably extra tenacity Zach. So he's able to get free of that and take the lantern out to safety. Now they have Baron buff and they have their inhibs back up, so they have the opportunity to take a good fight if they can find it. Naked Beekeeper actually is doing quite a bit of damage now. So it's a real possibility that they could lose team fights. The Jinx is fully online, and this is a really bad pick if ADC Gap too big gets caught here.
I think he's safe for now as Urgot was taking his time, didn't want to go in because he also didn't have vision on the enemy team, so it could have been a pick for either side.
Oh man. Okay. All right. No global objectives on the map. 2 open inhibs, but Glacial Omen I think are a little bit spooked. They really don't feel comfortable going for these fights anymore, and honestly, I think that they're kind of correct here. They really need to get a good setup with ADC Gap too big, and he's playing forward pretty aggressively here. They don't have Hidden Torture available. They really need to just help ADC Gap too big focus down front line. I think that's the way they win.
Yeah, because they don't really have anybody that can just hop into the backline, take out Naked Beekeeper that quickly. We've seen Hidden Torture trying to do his job there, but the Jinx now does just way too much damage and is able to melt him down before he can actually dish out the damage that Volibear is known for.
Yeah, well, the Volibear is not going to be known for a lot of damage. Look at his build. He's full tank, which I think is correct. Hold on a second.
And here we go. You see Panther going in once again with the slingshot, and guy he's going to be the first one to fall. Coming in from the skies is Ishan, as now Seymour goes into the backline and gets a kill. And DC Gap too big. This is looking very good for GSM, as now Jinx has picked up another kill. Coffee Coop going to be the last player standing, and he's going to drop a huge shield, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough for him to get the kill on to Seymour. as Seymour as the game now progresses.
That
And
was
Ishan going to be a targeted down too. Zanya's coming out. Unfortunately, I don't think that will be able to amount to much. Yeah, as he just goes down instantly from the Jinx.
that's actually so bad. Ishan's death timer is now displaced from the rest of his teams. Actually, it might not even matter. There's 20 seconds left before ADC gap too big comes up. Is this gonna be the game end? Off of that, the Jinx does a lot of damage to towers, and he gets excited. They're making sure they got a minion wave in there.
And here we go. We see the Keystone come out, and that's going to be one quick tower taken down. This is going to be the second one, 2 in a second here, and now the Nexus is going to go down really quickly. A hook comes out from onto ADC gap, and yeah, that will be the game.
What just happened? GSM just all of a sudden randomly wins one fight, and they run it down, and they win the game. Panther got in there, and him basically died instantly. Glacial Omen forgot how to play front to back. They just keep on getting caught, and then hooks and Coffee Coop and Hidden Torture nowhere near ADC gap too big in order to help him when the Diana just jumps onto him. That's really not what you want. And that's gonna be game one going over to GSM.
Yeah, this was a crazy game. As soon as I saw Glacial Omen take over those Nexus inhibitors and also the Nexus towers, I thought this game was pretty much in the hands of Glacial Omen. But I guess GSM just turned it around and just sent them, took this game into their own hands and just kind of won the game.
All right, so we're going to take a short break, get into the lobby for game number 2. We'll see if Glacial Omen can equalize it or if GSM will take the title 2-0. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in just a few minutes.
Don't try this yourself. It's extremely dangerous.
Internet, hello and welcome to game number 2 between Gecko Slammer Armageddon and Glacial Omen in the gold-capped finals of GRLCS Season 14. I'm Alex H822, and joining me is actually Austin Rex Go Dragon Win. Joshua Curie had to dip for the last bit of this series. Hope everything's going all right. But we are already into Champion Select GSM. Glacial Omen opting for red side on this game, and GSM quickly banning away Nocturne, Seraphine, Tristana on the other side, Glacial Omen, with the same 3 bans, Viego, Lilia, and Morgana.
Yeah, so nothing's changing up in the first part of these ban phases at least, but I mean that Glacial Omen still opted in to be on the red side just because they don't get to hit first pick anymore, and because of that they're actually losing out on the Cho'Gath pick. Not that they would necessarily do it first, but I mean, looks like GSM actually values that Cho'Gath pick a little bit more than Glacial Omen does, just because I mean they're the ones that were able to pick it.
Yeah, I mean, Glacial Omen, maybe they weren't anticipating this. Maybe this is something GSM did, like, hey, they had a really good Cho'Gath game. We really don't want to deal with that again. But Mordekaiser for Glacial Omen would be a fairly good matchup for him. Mordekaiser really likes to play against beefier champions that kind of just walk towards him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, he has a lot of max HP sort of damage on his passive. It's harder for you to get away from a Mordekaiser. I mean, Cho'Gath definitely has some slows and some CC in order to help him. Well, in most cases, I would say Mordekaiser is pretty favored in this matchup. And then Galio is also going to be picked up by Glacial Omen as well.
Yeah, I would also anticipate. Well, the Galio is going to be locked in. I would also anticipate, just based on the way that GSM has played in the past, that Panther will also be playing a tank, which makes Mordekaiser even more of a powerful pick for Glacial Omen when you're up against double tank. It's really powerful in that situation. GSM picking up the Jinx worked really well for them in game number 1, and so why fix what isn't broken? You know, draft yourself those 2 frontliners plus Jinx.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing just a traditional front to back team definitely works very well. When you and picking up Jinx is just really just expedite, or not really expedite, but really just makes it exponentially more powerful. Just because Jinx is that sort of hyper carry that you want to be able to peel. Here's the Zac to really show up that double front line, and the Varus being hovered over Glacial Omen again as well. Oh, actually locking it in too.
Yeah, I think, you know, for as much as I personally don't like Varus, it went really well for Glacial Omen last game. Putting out a lot of good damage, as well as being able to have that chain of corruption for the champions on GSM who are just diving onto you. It ends up working out really well. Unfortunately, they weren't able to appropriately play those team fights, but maybe things will be different for Glacial Omen this game with the Mordekaiser locked in for them. It was banned in the second rotation by GSM, and Glacial Omen are gonna go ahead and ban away double assassins away from Seymour and let the Varus try and be the carry this game.
And double assassins being banned away is going to be a pretty good option because that Diana, some of the ultis were really impactful in order to break up some of their front to back team comp, and the Volibear also being banned away as from GSM, and also Lulu obviously. No, don't want to see that Varus Lulu combo.
Yeah, I think that GSM are kind of okay with those assassin bans. Because, like I said, I think that Seymour actually has a very good history of playing on, you know, mages that like to play front to back. He has played the Vigar, he's played the Xerath, and he has played the Malzahar, which I think Malzahar is very good in these types of team cons where you want to play front to back. You just peel anybody who gets onto your Jinx with the ultimate and let your frontliners take care of the rest of them. Kane is actually going to be the lock-in for Glacial Omen. We'll see if he opts towards the red Kane or the blue Kane. I think that the red Kane would be better in playing front to back, but maybe you do want the blue Kane in order to try and assassinate the Jinx. It depends a lot on what GSM picks. They're going to go ahead and pick up the Thresh for Silver Spade. He had a really great performance, just landing very good hooks last game.
Absolutely, and I think Thresh is a really good pickup here over the Rel because I think Thresh's versatility with his E alongside his Q and then just the box in general, it's going to play a lot better if Kane does decide to go into the blue form. This makes it a lot easier for him to peel him away. And Viger, like you said earlier, Seymour is going to be the one playing that Viger in the mid lane, which is nice. Another sort of hyper carry for this late game.
Yeah, I think Vygar's a great pick here. You have Event Horizon, which is a really big zoning tool, and you can combine that with the box to basically cut off an entire lane and let your Jinx just focus down frontline. I think it's great. I think it's a good pick. Job for GSM. What will Glacial Omen answer with Aurelia? So it is going to be Galio support. They're switching it up. They're going to lock in the Aurelia, and that's going to be a lot of dive power. So this team has just changed. It's no longer a front to back game. It's a dive the enemy Jinx game.
Yeah, I do like the idea of the dive enemy Jinx sort of game plan. Because there's only a couple tools that GSM really has to really keep you off. Sure, they have Zac ulti, which is a nice easy one. Elastic slingshot, really good as well. In order to get that done, alongside of the event horizon from Viger. But once those tools are done and said, it's a little bit harder for them to really try to get on top of the Jinx, just because, like, let's say, like, in the scenario, we assume, like, either Aurelia or Kayn starts off the engage, since they both have pretty decent good team fight starting tools. Sorry, getting a little discombobulated with my words, but yeah, Red Kayn can always just do a good knock up and then get in there. Shadow Kayn can dive in super hard with how much movement speed he gets with E, followed by Aurelia using, like, say, Q onto a minion, kills it, so then she gets her reset, ults 3 people to keep them trapped in so they can't peel for the Jinx as well, assuming that you don't get the Jinx in there. And then Galio just follows up with his ulti, knocks him in a nice area, and then you got a pretty good amount of AoE damage alongside of Vara's ulti to combo on top of that.
Yeah, I really think that this is going to be quite a different game as far as team fights go, or at least it should be. I do think Glacial Omen faltered a little bit at the end. I think they got close to ending the game and then they weren't able to, so they kind of forgot what their team was meant to do, because you saw how the Volibear and the Cho'Gath were kind of just up in Jinx's face, and after the LDR came in, I think that your best bet is to try and peel for your Varus, but the Varus was just getting annihilated by the Diana every fight after a certain point. And so this game, I think this is the game where you do want to be up in the Jinx's face rather than peeling for your Varus. Let the Varus, either die or peel for himself with the Chain of Corruption. Maybe you give him a Galio ultimate or two. But more likely is they're going to try and Galio ult on the Aurelia or on the Kayn as soon as he gets in onto the Jinx. Combo that dive with the Galio ultimate to keep him CC'd and just focus him down.
And I mean, we haven't talked too much about it, but also the Mordekaiser's pickup here is pretty important because GSM has only two carries that do actual damage. Jinx and Viger, so he could honestly just to go for just a flash ulti play. They're down to only one carry now, which they need to peel away while everyone else goes in. If Mordekaiser can't kill the Jinx or Viger, you know exactly where they're going to be coming out of, and as long as you take up a little bit more of that site, like while he's in the Shadow Realm, it's going to turn out into at least one for one kill, and that's half their damage away from GSM. So I like Glacial Omen's comp in theory, at the very least.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that a lot of this game will come down to execution. Although I will say, I think I would rather be playing GSM's comp again. I love these front to back champions and team compositions, and I think they drafted I think they drafted much better this game. And honestly, it's 4 of the same champions, but the Vigar versus the Diana makes a huge amount of difference because you have another champion that can play front to back and another champion that has a lot of power to lay down CC and zone. The Diana ended up working out really well. Like, don't get me wrong, he assassinated ADC Gap quite a few times and either kept them in the game or outright won them a fight. So, not to knock Seymour's Diana, but I think the Vigar fits a lot better.
Yeah, Seymour definitely does have a lot of opportunity with this. Just it fits in with the comp a little bit more because you're not trying to break up any front to back in this one because you just look at the amount of dive that they really have. Playing a little bit more defensively, which the Viger can definitely do. Seymour has definitely put himself on a champion that's way more safer and can stop a lot of these engages with that event horizon. On top of obviously doing those one shots that I can always do, hitting the good old outplay button.
Ironically speaking, I think that with the Vigar fitting better into GSM's team comp, I think that Diana would actually have fit better in this game than last game because there's not nearly as much peel tools on the side of Glacial Omen, so the Diana has a lot of opportunities to kill the ADC. So, take from that what you will. I think the Vigar was the correct choice, but I would not have been as sad to see the Diana this game than last game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Diana is still a really good champion overall. She got some jungle buffs, and you're not going to take her jungle, but in any case, she does still do a lot of damage. She can do her job. Even peeling is not even too bad as Diana, but Vanguard definitely does a better job at that because of how fast your event horizon comes up. And I am curious if this is going to be the Everfrost Viger, just because it gives you even more utility. You can trap them in your baby cage. They'll walk around like, oh, you're not going to be hitting me with your skill shots, and then you just drop an Everfrost that covers almost the entire baby cage. They gets rooted, and then you can land your combo after them.
Yeah, I think Everfrost would be the mythic of choice. I don't see the Leandrius as being particularly necessary. That's not like Glacial Omen is going to be that tanky, and I definitely think that the utility of Everfrost is going to be quite a bit better than the minuscule amount of extra burst, which probably isn't even necessary on Vigar after a certain point in the game. So yeah, I think he should go Everfrost. He might go something else. I would disagree with that decision, but we'll see how it ends up going.
One thing I do, sorry not to cut you off or anything,
no,
but
go ahead, please.
Yeah, one thing I do remember from yesterday's games is that we did see a Vigor previously, and they actually went Cosmic Drive first item because they had enough AP by themselves from their passive, and that immediately got him all those bonus stats. Which, honestly, that was a really good play on him, seeing that, like, oh, I have enough stats, let's just opt in for Cosmic Drive rather than finishing, like, Everfrost.
Yeah, that is 100% a thing that Vigar and only Vigar can do because of his passive. If you get enough AP from the passive to push yourself over the threshold for Everfrost, and you can rush that item. That item is... The gold efficiency on that item, if it's activated, is absolutely insane. So you're getting a lot of value for your gold. You're not getting the power of the mythic item, but that's fine because Everfrost is such an insane item. There's a reason why it's not meant to be built first and why they put that restriction on it. But Vigar gets to do that because he's Vigar.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of which, let's go ahead and introduce these teams. On the blue side, we have GSM Levies. It's a weird one. I know it says look like Levi's, but he said it was Levies, and I'll take his word for it. Panther in the jungle, playing that Zac.
Wait, Hook? Alright, flashed away.
Yeah, Levy's playing the Cho'Gath in top lane, Panther in the jungle playing Zac, Seymour playing the Viger in the mid lane. I really can't say that name. It's either Vigor or Viger, and I'll flip between the two. Naked Beekeeper and Silver Spade still playing the Jinx and Thresh bot lane.
And on the red side, it's Glacial Omen, number 2 seed coming out of the Yordle Conference. It's Coffee Coop in the top lane on Mordekaiser, Hidden Torture in the jungle on Kayn, Ishan in the mid lane on Irelia, and in the bottom lane, it's ADC Gap and Gatim on Varus and Galio.
Yeah, so much different team comp that we're seeing here, but it's still going to be interesting to see how the execution really goes out. And we've already discussed a lot about what we think is going to happen in our lanes, but it's really going to be coming down to execution, because who knows, maybe Cho'Gath will be the one winning out in a lot of these trades, because Coffee Coop just keeps getting poked out by Q or E, and then the grass procs are just too good, while Coffee Coop can't get his Conqueror procs. Or maybe it's just exactly how we expected, and Coffee Coop just burns down Cho'Gath and he does not have a fun laning phase.
Yeah, Mordekaiser is one of those champions that really likes to play against these types of tanky champions in the top lane. I really think that banning Mordekaiser in game number 1 was a very important decision. That, hold on, level 2 gank coming in from Panther. Hook lands on from Silver Spade. Ignite is on to Gatim, and he has no flash for level 1! First blood goes over to Naked Beekeeper. That's not what you want if you're Glacial Omen.
Absolutely. We saw how strong Naked Beekeeper was last game. I even checked the damage charts, and before he did the most damage in the game by quite a margin, actually. So, you don't want to see Naked Beekeeper gets too strong now. Silver Spade being a little intimidating, saying it's like, I could probably hit this hook, but, ADC gap too big, won't be falling for it this time.
I cannot believe that a level 2 gank by a Zac actually worked. That's honestly that's my main takeaway here. How does that even work? I guess it works when you burn Flash at level 1 off of Godhum just walking into the wrong place, and so really good punish by GSM. Honestly, you know, major props to them for making use of that information.
Truly, really good use.
Just
But
Punch
now...
gonna come in. The play gonna get the little baby taunt from Silver Spade.
Yeah, and Hidden Torture is positioned for a bot lane gank here, but it doesn't look like he's actually going to complete that. Just taking bot lane scuttle and a control ward while he's down there, or a regular ward, one of the two. But in any case, trading out scuttles for both junglers. It's going to be interesting to see how Hidden Torture is going to be approaching it. He does have Conqueror, which does say a little bit more towards the
Rost.
the Ross sort of build, which we were talking about earlier. He can get that knockout with the E, but it's going to be interesting if he actually opts for Shadow Assassin. But man, just
Yeah,
get
I mean,
on out of it.
ganking bot against 2 ranged champions makes you way more likely to go Shadow Assassin. The taunt not gonna land on anybody, and Naked Beekeeper and Silver Spade are actually winning this trade 3v1 or 3v2.
Yeah, they're able to beat on out the Kane gank. Kane ganks are pretty weak on the earlier parts of the game. He can look for a mid lane gank, which is a little bit easier, but it's against a Viger, which definitely makes it not as easy. Playing around that event horizon will be crucial if he wants to try to maybe grab some orbs for him, or maybe he'll just supplement some of his orbs and just go top lane for a nice easy couple stacks.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is, I think that Hidden Torture, it was not like great to go for that gank, but kind of an okay. Hold on a second, Panther ganking up in the top lane, but Coffee Coop is just taking the 2v1 in stride.
Yeah, playing this Mordekaiser definitely making our just a big prediction come true. Where Mordekaiser is just doing a great job because the only one that can really assist him, ideally, is just Panther.
Silver Spade looking for the hook. Justice Punch, nicely flayed out by Silver Spade.
Yeah.
We'll take the lesser end of that trade thanks to the poke from the Varus, but go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. Ideally the only one that can really gank for top lane is going to be Panther, since Seymour rather stay in lane and just grab the minions. He could roam, and if he gets a kill, then he gets a lot of stacks. But other than that, Seymour typically just wants to stay mid, just trying to farm up his Q, and gets to that point where he just build Cosmic Drive first item and start rolling the game in the mid game.
Yeah, I think that gank from Hidden Torture was not great, but it's something you can go for, and now he's kind of doing okay. He's ahead in farm over Panther, as you should be against the Zac. But you really want to get some of those early ganks off as Kayn when you can, like without losing a lot of efficiency, because you want to get those orbs in order to get your evolve. Unfortunately, I don't think he landed like that much damage, if any, onto the bot lane of GSM.
I don't think his
which
Q
really
didn't land, and I don't think his W landed either, so I don't think he got anything.
Yeah, which really stinks, because like you go for that gank knowing you're never gonna get a kill there, but to not get any orbs either, that's just demoralizing, honestly.
Yeah, to a sense, but we do see that he's in the mid lane. He able to get a couple stats off of Seymour right now. He wants to try to maybe make something happen against him with Ishan being able to push up a little bit, but I mean, he's just kind of stuck on a minion wave right now.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, actually, because you're only level 5. The Vigar has the level 6, and Vigar's damage is honestly no slouch even before he's gotten a lot of stacks, if you land all your abilities.
Yeah, that W is a 100% AP ratio, which might not seem like that much, but if he has a couple stats under his belt, even if it's not like 100 plus, it's still a lot of damage that can add up if he keeps hitting you with them.
Alright, Ishan looking to try and get the stun onto Seymour. He doesn't land it, and so his Q will go on cooldown off of that one.
Good dodge in indeed, and That's a pretty good laning that Seymour is doing. I mean, he needs to dodge a lot of this, any of the resets that Ishan could be really looking for. If the stun did land, I'm imagining Ishan would Q, hit his ulti, and then keep going forward with that engage. I'm not sure if he would pick up a kill there just yet, but still probably force a flash out at the very least.
Yeah, I think I want to give props to Seymour for consistently dodging those E's. I get hit by every single one by every Aurelia I ever play against. Coffee Coop gonna throw it on the ultimate. Ishan going aggressive onto Seymour. Seymour has no mana, so the Event Horizon is gonna be using the majority of the rest of it. Rupture gonna be sidestepped by Coffee Coop. Levi's about to come back out of the Death Realm. He's gonna flash away, and Coffee Coop will trade his ultimate for the flash of Levi's and probably force him out of lane here.
Yeah, he has TP available, so he won't be hurting too bad here as long as Coffee Coop is just going to be slow pushing. But ooh.
Oh, Hidden Torture coming around, flashes in onto Seymour. He doesn't have the range for the ultimate!
Oh. That's so sad. He already used his flash too, so he couldn't necessarily go in, try to flash, get another auto attack in, or flash to hit his ulti. Though, really well played by Seymour there, using his flash to get out of range. I think a little bit of a misplay from Hidden Torture because he used his flash. I'm not exactly sure what he used his flash on. I think because he came from the wall, he queued, but I think he flashed at the same time.
Yeah, he came from the wall and then flashed to be right on top of Seymour and then queued, and then wasn't able to ult off of it. That's just a huge misplay. You knew that the Vigar still had flash. Elastic Scenes are gonna come in. Oh, nicely done by Coffee Coop.
Yeah, very much so. Really nicely done. So it's going to be interesting to see how else can Glacial Omen really get into this. If they need to be able to land some of these things. Hidden Torture's not having a good early game at the moment here, but if they can maybe turn it around just by a little bit, it will make the difference.
Wow, Ishan actually gets knocked back in a tower as Panther clears the wave. So successfully, comes in, burns Ishan's flash. That's a lot of safety he is just afforded to Seymour after Seymour had to burn his flash. But really good play by Panther, honestly. Just good job.
Honestly, really nicely done. This first Drake is still here to Cloud Soul, or Cloud Drake, no one's really wanting it, but since GSM has the advantage, they're going to go ahead and try to go for it. The bot lane can't respond, no one else can really respond to this.
Levi's has done this the last couple times, where he walks down to the dragon before, like, his team is calling him to walk down to the dragon. The difference is this time, what is even the point though? He doesn't have Feast available, the enemy team is not contesting it, and you don't have Teleport to get back to lane, so you're basically just wasting a lot of Levi's time, I think. I think that it was a misplay to come down here. They gets the hook off, they play him back away. Here we go, the flash taunt comes out from God Team. Here's the Justice Punch as well. The box used to make space by Silver Spade. He's gonna have a hook up back soon. Chain of Corruption goes wide. Hook is gonna come out. Gap just walks right into the Thresh. Here's the hero's entrance. Gonna try and keep him alive. Naked Beekeeper throws out the Super Mega Death Rocket. Justice Punch comes in onto the Thresh. They're gonna taunt him up as well. Naked Beekeeper flashes for the zap. Doesn't finish. ADC gap too big. Again, I really think Naked Beekeeper needs to be a little bit more conservative with his flash. He is very important, and his flash is very important, and that kill was like basically never gonna happen. Ishan goes in, gets the taunt, or gets the stun off, but he cannot go for the dash because of the Event Horizon. He stuns himself!
Ooh. My goodness. Okay, alright, well, that is unfortunate to see because now Seymour is 2-0. Unfortunately, he is just going to be building the Evercross first item instead of the Cosmic Drive. I don't think he has the AP for it, and he doesn't want to risk it. Actually, that might even go... does Blasting... Yeah, Blasting Wand does go into Everfrost alongside of the Kindle Gym. Just making sure because also Luden sees Blasting Wand.
Right,
in any case, yeah. But in any case, he is going to be opting in for his mythic item rep over the Cosmic Drive right now, might just because of how many stats he has. He's like, oh, I'll probably not reach it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. In any case, still, he's 2-0 right now after Ishan, after what happened there. So, it's very unfortunate to see. But I mean, gold leads are not that bad, honestly. It's only 200 difference in favor for GSM just because they have the kills, but the farming wise, Glacial Omens are doing great.
Yeah, fairly big misplays in mid and bot lane there, where ADC Gap basically walks right into the Thresh while channeling his piercing arrows, so his movement speed is reduced. Then Ishan goes aggressive in onto Vigar and then stuns himself and ends up handing over a solo kill over to the Vigar, which is really bad. When you're playing this Irelia, Irelia is absolutely terrible in team fights. That's just a fact. The champion relies on getting ahead and just like either hard winning 1v1s or being so far ahead that her weakness in team fights doesn't matter because she just runs in and kills somebody. So to give up a solo kill to a champion who scales probably one of the best of any champion in League of Legends is really bad. Is Sean gonna land another stun? Going to go aggressive onto Seymour, but Silver Spade is here, gonna land an easy point blank hook into the Everfrost, into the play, and another kill goes the way of Seymour.
Yeah, yet another kill. Good Everfrost there. I mean, this is what we're talking about. He was stuck in the baby cage, and on top of that, he was stuck in the box as well, so he couldn't go onto the side. And then Everfrost tied up his corners as well, alongside the hook which assisted in that as well. So kept them still while the WQ and ulti all land on Ishan, and that's a second death for Ishan. Just pretty much almost back to back right there as well. He has the Negatron cloak. It looks like he's going to build at Wit's End. Maybe probably second item. I don't think he's going to delay it. Delay his mythic just because he has the hard ants right now. But it really depends. Seymour is just 3-0 on a Viger. He's still 20 CS down. But I mean, hey, he has stacks on top of all that, so it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. What is the Hearthbound X gonna build into? Is he building it in towards the Wit's End, I guess? Alright, here we go. God Team gonna get caught by the hook, but there's just Chain of Corruption onto Silver Spade. The Hero's Entrance comes out. Hidden Torture is gonna go in with the Umbral Trespass onto Silver Spade. Will they be able to enough to finish him up? It will. But now he's gotta get out of there because he's gonna get slowed by the Zap Under Tower. Flashes away. It's gonna be a 1-for-0. Nice gank from Hidden Torture, but a lot of summoners burned on both sides. Here we go. They're going to go for the dive, and there's the teleport coming in from Vigar, but they're going to trade 1-for-1 so far as the Elastic Slingshot comes out from Panther. Ishan trying to get his way back out the other side. And they will be getting out with that one. The Hearthbound X does actually build into the Wit's End, so I think that he might just be going for that first item.
Perhaps would not be a bad item just because of how much AP or magic damage comes out from GSM here. I guess I haven't played enough.
Ishan got caught on the recall, doesn't land the stun, which means he's 100% just gonna die here, right? Yeah, Rupture lands.
Yeah,
Seymour gets himself a rampage.
Seymour 4 and Wit's End has been completed by Ishan, but maybe it's a little late here. CS lead has like even shrunken as well because Seymour is just pushing down this mid lane, and yet another dragon will be going over to GSM as well. So once that goes down, that is going to be quite unfortunate for them to see. Is going to be the Infernal Rift for anyone who's been doing the predictions. Looks like no one did it this time, but hey, it's a 50-50 shot in any case.
Oh man, Infernal Rift is... Honestly, I think that's worse for Glacial Omen because now you have fewer walls that you can jump through as Kayn.
Yeah, Malin would have been a pretty interesting one if you go for your blue Kayn. It lets you keep your E reset going on because, you know, you have to stay in a wall for so long, or like you have to be in a wall for so long in order to actually get the movement speed.
Chain of Corruption has been used. They're going to try and get a pick onto Silver Spade. He flashes away from the hail of arrows. ADC Gap is going to flash over to follow him, and they will finish off Silver Spade for a quick kill.
Yeah, quick kill is going to be pretty nice. Going over on ADC Gap too big, he's going to appreciate that, but not having flash is going to be quite scary with Panther sitting in the bush right now. He's prepping the Elastic Slingshot.
Got no flash. Elastic Slingshot going to connect onto both of them. He's going to be able to pull him in. Nicely done with the stretching strike. Shutdown goes over to Naked Beekeeper, and now Godim is going to be a second kill. Double kill for the ADC of GSM.
Yeah, GSM, you know, they let something slip through their cracks, and then they just come right back at it. You know, Ishan. Ooh.
Oh, he does get the stun off, but he's going to get stunned himself on the event horizon. Now he has to back away. There's the Primordial Burst. Seymour flashes to try and finish him up. He goes in, gets a lot of lifesteal, and healing. Seymour might have given himself up. The shutdown goes over after he flashes aggressively. That is not what you want on GSM.
Definitely not. And this is also why I hate Irelia. Oh,
Alright,
but
elastic
first,
slingshot. He does not land it, but he does land the stretching strikes. Now Ashan has already used his stun onto Panther. He's trying to get out of there, but Silver Spade throws down the box just to cut off his escape route. Here's the hero's entrance. He's getting so much healing. The Ignite goes down. He's going to take a lot of damage from the flay in the box. Silver Spade gets the kill. And now Panther, he gets in there with the elastic slingshot. Gatheem has thrown down the hero's entrance already as Hidden Torture still yet to evolve. Elastic slingshot as he goes back in. Justice Punch knocks him into the air. He's going to look for the stretching strikes. He gets it out before he goes down. The minion wave will finish off his passive. Coffee Coop has used the ultimate on the Silver Spade to teleport onto one of Panther's blobs. From Seymour, there's the taunt coming out. Silver Spade is going to go down in the death phenomenon as Coffee Coop flashes back towards Seymour. The Primordial Burst finishes out the Mordekaiser. Naked Beekeeper showing up for the fight. GSM Levi's trying to get him in there. Naked Beekeeper is on a killing spree as he gets excited, takes down one more. And that's going to be Super Mega Death Rocket thrown, just trying to guess where Hidden Torture is, and that's how the fight is going to end.
yeah, just how it's going to end there. Still, actually, honestly, it's still pretty good over the side of GSM. They got a lot of kills out of that. And on top of that, it's on Naked Beekeeper, so he's scaling up even more. Runeance is actually his next item he's going to build here because there's significantly less amount of tank that you need to go cut through.
Yeah, I completely agree with this one.
Yeah. This one is going to be a good one. Hidden Torture, I don't think he's evolved. No, he has actually turned into the Ross now. So that is going to be good. He finishes Gore Drinker as well, which I'm debating on because I still think a Shadow Assassin is a little bit better here. You have two high priority targets and killing one really, really quickly is kind of important. But if Hidden Torture can survive in these longer fights, then hey, who am I to judge?
Yeah, I honestly, I'm kind of surprised that well, I'm kind of surprised that this is the one he ends up getting first. I assume he got this one first because normally you just want to take the first one you get so that you can become a real champion. But if he's gone Rost, I'm surprised that first off that he was able to because he was mostly ganking mid and bot, which are all range champions. Second, I don't know. He did go Conqueror, so maybe this was his plan all along.
Yeah. But I mean, I believe it was one of the games yesterday, or maybe it was one of the games during playoffs. We saw a Kayn who took Conqueror as well, which is very indicating of a red Kayn, but then opted in for going Shadow Assassin and still did so much damage.
Alright, Ashan gets Shirelia's on, boxed, flayed, and he's gonna try. Oh, he actually does get Silver Spade before he gets feasted on! Alright, well, that's the power of Irelia. You just have so much damage and healing. Wow. So he does get a kill back in a 2v1 situation, so really nicely done for him, investing a lot of time on the side of GSM for that.
Yeah, and then to answer Banana in the chat.
Right, Elastic Slingshot gonna connect onto the Varus. There's the hero's entrance trying to peel him off and looking for the taunt. Is gonna get the Chain of Corruption onto Levi's and Panther as he goes back in. The Jinx is doing a lot of damage over the side, and Gatheem is just gonna fall. Now they're gonna do all the damage onto Hidden Torture. He gets a big Gore Drinker heal, but he's gonna eventually go down. The Rupture lands, and it's a double kill, but onto ADC gap. A really late teleport coming in from Mishan, but I think he just respawned.
It's like that is maybe the case here, but what a good fight for GSM again. Just a lot of process, but we're going over onto the Drake right now. Seymour is in the top lane in order to keep Coffee Coop busy, and no TP available either. It was going to be kind of hurting there. They couldn't bring him down for the fight. But and then also to talk about in the chat, I was saying Tier is not a bad item for Kayn because he does actually have a lot of mana issues, just because of his ability cost and how if the fight goes on for long enough, then you just run out of mana, and that's generally the death of you sometimes. And then Zero Zen really gives a good explanation on it. I don't play enough Kayn. I play a lot of Assassin, so I like going Shadow Assassin Kayn more in a lot of cases. But if Frost is pretty good here, I mean they have some beefier tankier units, and if you can land your W onto Jinx or Seymour, it would just be fine either way anyways.
Yeah, I will say I think that Rost is like nigh on broken if he hits late game. His healing is just so insane. It just takes him a while to get there. But in a double tank situation like the one that GSM has drafted, I definitely see the merit of going for the Rost. you get a lot of time to make use of your cooldowns and your healing. Ishan has the Wit's End. It looks like he's building towards what does that build into?
Either Gale Force or Kraken Slayer.
Gale Force or Kraken Slayer. Yeah, because I was like, it could be Shield Bow, but he doesn't. He has the pickaxe, which doesn't build into Shield Bow. Baron has been started up by GSM. They are the ones with the Cho'Gath. As a death sentence nicely done onto the Ross. A flash taunt gonna get 4, but he gets stunned by the Event Horizon, and nobody is there to follow up on Gotheem's taunt. And now Hidden Torture gonna get go into the Umbral Trespass, get a little bit of damage onto the Cho'Gath. He's gonna get back in on the Naked Beekeeper, gonna get taken down by the Primordial Burst, and now the Runon's Hurricane is gonna be doing a lot of work onto Ishan and ADC gap too big. They have to disengage. It's a 3-for-0 so far. That sense nicely done, bro. Silver Spade pulls Ishan back into the fight. He stuns himself once again onto the Event Horizon, and he's gonna go down 4-for-0.
Yeah, and honestly, I gotta say, in some cases, I think I like the Irelia pick, but not against the Viger, because we already saw that Viger was picked up here. But it really, if you get trapped in that baby cage, it shuts down Irelia so hard, because one of the things that she's really good at is being mobile and dancing around the team. You can't dance around the team if you're stuck in a baby cage or the box. And for that matter, you can still if you're in the box, because it only slows you, deals a little damage, but for the most part, you don't want to be stuck in that baby cage. And if right now it's not looking like a great pickup here. It looks good in it on paper, but right now it's not.
Well, that's a face check and a half. Gotheem is going to survive? No, he does finally go down, but there's the Chain of Corruption coming out. Coffee Coop has gone into the Death Realm with Naked Beekeeper. The Event Horizon can't stop him in there, but he's just getting kited. Naked Beekeeper with a flash over the side is going to be able to take him down. Triple kill goes over to the 80 carry as Ishan and ADC get too big once again. Now there's the Chain of Corruption. I lied about it being used earlier, but again, another 3-for-0.
Yeah, 5k gold lead over side of GSM. This is looking quite more so in the favor of GSM, of like why they're the undefeated teams currently in the Yordo Conference. Not to jinx it anyways. I mean, we literally saw what happened at Glacial Omen last game. But I mean, that was last game. This is this game, and this time GSM's the one with the lead here, with now a Baron buff underneath their belts, 3 dragons up as well. Next one's coming up in about a minute, and they have just a lot of things going for them.
I was looking at it, I was like, I don't normally see Kraken Slayer on Irelia. It kind of makes sense this game because of how many just like health stacking tanks you've got on the other side. Levi's on the Cho'Gath and Panther on the Zac. But like you said, the Vigar is just shutting down this Irelia. She doesn't have the opportunity to just be Irelia, and I really don't think that Irelia is all that good in coordinated play. It's a very solo queue champion. We have seen Cloud9 play it early on in the LCS, but I don't know. I don't think that the champion really does enough for you in a team fight unless it's already mega ahead.
Yeah, and Zero's asking how many stacks Vigor has. Let's go ahead and check up on that. Right now, 263, so that's a huge amount of stacks under his belt here. That's almost, that's like 2 Rabadons that he has. If you don't have to, I guess that's 10 play 2, what was it called? Horizon Focus? Is that what it is? Horizon Focus?
Horizon Focus?
Yes, it gives like 120 AP.
Horizon gonna trap up the Galio. Hidden Torture is gonna flash in, but he can't get the steal from the hook. Whoa, it just immediately gets taken down. Silver Spade gets a hook onto Coffee Coop to keep the fight going, but Infernal Soul is helping Panther win out on this one, but he's up against the Mordekaiser. He is gonna go into his passive, but that means that he has to pop out of the Death Realm, and that means that he gets taken up by Vigar.
That is unfortunate that one Hidden Torture just dies right there immediately in that fight, and then Coffee Coop hits the ulti over on the Panther, so he can maybe get a trade out for 1-for-a kill, but he doesn't see that Panther has his passive up, so it's not even a 1-for-1 kill at that point. He trades for his passive, and now we see GSM with Dragon Soul, with Baron buff, and now they're just running it down through the bot lane in order to clear out a bunch of towers. The sieging power is immense. They still have plenty of people with this Baron buff. 45 seconds left on this Baron, and I don't think that Glacial Omen has the tools in order to deal with this. They don't have wave clear to deal with this. They're almost all melee.
Yeah, that's another downside of picking Aurelia. You don't have any wave clear. Not that it matters because you're looking at Baron buff. A nice Event Horizon traps 3 members, and a ton of damage goes in onto Got before he's able to even try to get in there. There's the Dark Matter gonna land onto Copy Coop. Rupture onto 2! Elastic Seizure comes in, the Hero's Enter is trying to disengage the fight. Ishan goes in and immediately gets taken down, and Naked Beekeeper's running wild. The hook lands an ADC gap! It's gonna be the full house triple kill for the Jinx, a triple kill for, or a double kill for the Cho'Gath, and that's gonna be probably the game going the way of GSM. The game just froze for me, so I assume that means that it's over.
Yep, that looks like it is over. GSM Levi's also in the chat saying sheesh. So I'm assuming this has been the series. Congratulations, GSM, for the comeback game 1 and then the stomp game 2, winning with 10k gold lead, and Viger ending up with 312 stats in that game. So really nicely done. A lot of damage coming out from that Viger. And and I think this is just a little bit of a difference for the draft here. Viger got so much extra value coming out from this game too. We like in that last fight alone, he stopped 4 or no, not 4, but like 3 different people from engaging with his baby cage because he dropped 2 of them inside and one of them tried to go in, and then they got hit by the cage as well. So just so much damage coming out from them. Oh man. Oh. All right, my bad. I also deafened, so I couldn't hear any of you. My bad. But
I know. All
yeah,
of
I
a
was
sudden you
talking to
stopped talking. I was like, oh, where'd he go? Yeah, really nicely done by GSM. I unmuted the stream so I could hear what you were saying. But yeah, ending the game with nearly 1,000 ability power for that Vigar. Really well played by Seymour. That's going to be GSM taking the victory in a 2-0 in the finals over Glacial Omen. Really nicely done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations. We're ahead of schedule, so I guess we're going to be taking yet another little 1 hour break before we go ahead and jump into the Plat game. If you want to figure out who's fighting going against there, we have, I believe, Reign of Kings
Reign of
versus
Kings and Pootie Tang Gang.
Yeah, so on this channel we'll have Reign of Kings versus Pootie Tang Gang. On the other channel we'll see AoE CC versus the Mingos. They're going to be interesting games for all of them. I think GSM's the only one that actually went under. No, okay, no. Pootie Tang Gang still has it gone undefeated in their playoffs too. So there's a chance that we'll see them also make it out. Undefeated in playoff or in playoffs, and
Regular
then
season.
regular season, and then maybe win out here. Because I think Mingos, if I'm not wrong, yeah, Mingos was also previously 7-0, but they got knocked down thanks to Reign of Kings.
Yeah, all right. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll be back in about an hour with Reign of Kings versus Pootie Tang Gang, the Platinum Capped Final, and the final series of GRLCS Season 14. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Nice.